SGC here! Let's do the comics thing. First up, Mega Man. He totally sat on the sideline for this. And I think with this issue, I realized I don't really need to read this because it's just really kind of childish and I could just totally use the $3 somewhere else. So, this is a decision that I'm making now. Goodbye, Mega Man. Peter Panzerfaust. Seriously, the art in this is really not that impressive, but the story is what's bringing me back every issue. Things didn't go as planned, but it went well, but where's the person? We gotta find this person. My Management 0. This is like a collection of the digital stuff that went online, I guess, and now it's being collected in physical format, and it was interesting to see different things. It's different like stories, like from actual My Management or storyline. Gives like a perspective on how just crazy this organization is. Punk Rock Jesus. Woo! Things are just really nuts now. I mean, like the whole like Christian thing. Like so much more action in this issue. And you got one more issue left. I'm really loving the art here. Again, I wish it was in color, but oh well. Sean Murphy, keep at it. Batman Robin. Crazy stuff about how Robin just goes off by himself and really tries to handle things. And I was actually happy. He was genuinely happy to see Batman join the fray. But Batman wasn't impressed. And it's interesting to see that the father-son dynamic to grow more. I mean, I think the last two issues there was sort of rebellious feeling from Damian, but in this issue it felt a lot more close with the dynamic. Oh boy. Wolverine and X-Men. Actual villains, actual damage. Well, I guess mutant villains. But then again, Hellfire Club is pretty intense. We got Mystique here, and she's just like bringing in more new mutants that came out of like Phoenix Force. It's really interesting to see how changed Angel has become since Uncanny X-Force and his like accident or situation. The Legend of the Dark Knight. This is actually probably 2 weeks old, but I totally missed out on it. And yeah, like this is awesome. Like they release stuff on digital format first, and then they re-release it in physical print. Ben Temple-Smith drawing Batman. What else do you want? Okay, fine. The story was pretty interesting in the sense where it's just like, whoa, Joker really messed up Batman. Amazing Spider-Man, more stuff with Hobgoblin, setting things up with like Doc Ock, and it's just like, okay, seems the Hobgoblin is gonna take a backseat now that he's like setting up his, I don't know, Hobgoblin Inc. sort of thing. But yeah, 3 more issues until the big 700, so things are gonna be crazy. Massive. I'm really trying to like this series, and again, this issue is sort of like a backstory about the main 3 characters, and I'm not really that engaged. I mean, sure there was action and some mystery, but like, I don't look forward to it. It's just like, oh, Massive came out, I should get it. Yeah, so contemplating on dropping this. Brian Wood, like seriously, I support you, man, but like I dropped Conan already, and now Massive now is on the chop block. Come on, like I don't know, like what's happening here? I try, man. DMZ, what happened to that? Saga, craziness. That splash page is just like whoa, whoa, craziness. Now we meet the grandparents, and things are just like, what's happening? Like, how are they gonna get along? Holy awesome issue. Just read it. Issue 7 is like the first one after the trade, so trade people, get this, so you don't have to wait. Batman, man, I know who you are. Why so serious? Yeah, Batman. Yeah, pretty much the Bat family is like better. Interesting backup story on the Penguin. Interesting stuff, cause what are they planning? Whoa. Okay, so that's what I got from Wednesday. I actually had to make 2 trips down to RX this week because just things were too hectic and I had to go to work. I always review the comics in the order I read them, so next batch. Great Pacific. I'm not sure if not heard of it, but it's supposed to be like a Massive times Why the Last Man sort of vibe. First off, I'm gonna say whoever did the lettering sucks. There's way too many bolded words. It's just like I'm always reading an emphasis, so this person's always like stressing the bolded words, and it's like not like a flow. Like it's so like it bounces out, like the words jump into my face. Like I'm seriously, how can anyone have conversation with these people because they're always stressing certain words? And it's just like, maybe it's a clever thing that at the end of the issue they'll like add everything all up, and then like this was actually a sentence that all the words were bolded, but no. So it was really frustrating to read this, but the story, how it ended, was interesting, so I'm for sure gonna take up issue 2, because I mean like it's pretty intense. Like this guy just trying to make money off this huge pile of garbage in the middle of like the Atlantic. Yeah. And he's rich, so tons of stuff we need to do when you're rich. X-Men Legacy with a Scotty Young cover. Yeah, like, Xavier, why is your son so powerful? Art is interesting, but not that eye-catching for me. I got this for the cover, read the story, not that interested because he's just way too powerful for my taste, and it seems like where's the supporting cast? He's just one guy, so I would prefer supporting cast instead of one guy, but the X-Men will probably just be a supporting class, but I'm not so gung-ho about that, so probably just maybe check out issue 2. All new X-Men, wow, I was totally not gonna like this, I thought. But Stuart Immonen, man, art awesome story. Interesting in a sense where it's time travel, obviously. So for sure, I will try to check out issue 2 and just to see where it's gonna go. Because I mean, like what's happening with Hank, it's pretty intense. You gotta read to find out what. But yeah, like Scotty Young cover, awesome. Fantastic Four, another one where I didn't think I would like. This whole thing with like their powers is gonna be interesting. Weird that while reading this issue, I had the total vibe from when I read the first issue of FF when like Future Foundation was established, and I was like, oh, I missed it. But then Future Foundation talked about the kids, and I was like, no. Yeah, so I was sort of confused when it says to be continued in FF number 1. I'm like, whoa, FF number 1, FF is being redone again, and Fantastic Four number 2 is gonna be interesting because I really actually want to know how they're gonna solve this problem. And Scotty Young cover. And lastly, Thor God of Thunder, Scotty Young cover. I loved it. Like the whole storylines of like young, present, and old Thor. It's just like intriguing. Like all things are connected. Anyway, the art is awesome, sad, awesome, and I like the storytelling. It's intriguing in the sense where, whoa, gods are being killed. And though I knew that coming in, I was like, this is interesting, and that it carries all the way over to old Thor. So I really want to see the connection, and it's like a 5-issue arc, so I'll for sure stay on for 5. And yeah, but it's Jason Aaron. I will try to like really have experience. So yeah. Ooh. So that's all the comics. A huge week this week. Whoa. So anyway, there is no sale at RX at this time. But anyway, so I get my comics at RX Comics, where you should too. Because seriously, there is no better place to get it. Because the place is amazing. Awesome. So like I said, last week I was on a podcast for James Bond. The link in the description. And I actually did another podcast on the review of Skyfall. So check that out. Review of Skyfall. I will somehow film that. Something fat. Anyway, so this is this week's comics. I hope you liked yours stuff. Because you're paying for them. Why wouldn't you like? So, see ya.